Understandably, no slide presentation could possibly answer all questions about a community or about the school designed to meet its needs. However, it can shed some insights into the community, which, hopefully, will assist you in formulating those questions and considerations which will ultimately better serve us all. Rich in Vermont history, the Winooski settlement broke away from Colchester and became a chartered city in 1922. With but 795 acres, less than 1 mile square, Winooski has a population of some 6,300 inhabitants. It is bordered by the Winooski River and Interstate 89. While vast physical changes have occurred in Winooski's recent history, there are obvious reminders of its past as a mill town in the days of the Winooski High School millers. Still prominent in our landscape are the woolen mills, which were the center of life for the predominantly French Canadians who worked there. In 1954, the American Woolen Company, bent on greater corporate profits, left for the promise of cheaper labor in the South, leaving behind an economically and psychologically devastated community. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. With an indomitable spirit under the spirited leadership of Don Cassavant, a citizens group known as the Model Cities Committee emerged, focusing on building a better community. In 1967, after 2 years of study and debate, the committee's bold and courageous proposal was funded. Urban renewal was coming to town, the answer to our prayers, or so we thought. Wholesale demolition of our downtown east side ensued. Spirited by the challenge, the committee, now known as the Community Development Committee, continued to dream and plan. The Renaissance had begun. The old downtown, with its familiar haunts, was no longer. Gone was Bill's Diner, the American Restaurant, the many marginal businesses and taverns. With the sins of urban renewal clearly in mind, a multi-pronged attack was developed. The first and most crucial would do little to improve the image, but would be crucial to future growth. To the satisfaction of the community at large, essential public services and facilities to provide them began to appear. Faced with a virtually non-existent industrial tax base and limited by the available open space for industrial growth, the Community Development Committee formed a corporation to facilitate the establishment of such a crucial base. As a result of their efforts, the Hillside Industrial Park was established, providing many jobs for local people and making a significant contribution to a diversified tax base. As you view these small, clean industries, development of another site for incubator industries is being completed on East Allen Street. Built from a variety of guaranteed funds for New England carpet manufacturing, this site presently serves as office and warehousing for a number of small businesses. During the traumatic years of the 60s, Richards Manufacturing, also later known as Vermont Furniture Company, was devastated by fire, thus adding to the financial woes of the city. The stockpiles of lumber supplies which fed not only the furniture industry, but also the Porter Screen Company, which had earlier left the city, would soon become merely images of the past. Out of the ashes came a neighborhood business complex. The Porter Screen office building now houses the Adult Basic Education Center and other county social services, while the production buildings have been renovated into over 100 modern, subsidized apartments known as the Courtyard. As noted earlier, some of the first areas of development were not so obvious. A new water system, the separation of storm drains and sewer lines, and this secondary treatment plant were accomplished to assure future commercial and industrial development. If a community's economic vitality is measured by the number of banking institutions it has within its borders, Winooski was looking up. The Howard Bank, with its 2 outlets, had served the city without competition for years. Now, older businesses were being replaced by the Merchants Bank, and the Bank of Vermont took over what had been the Grand Union. The Vermont National settled in the promising downtown. As mentioned before, Winooski, though small, has reflected the best of things through the ethnic diversity of its population. Its spiritual needs have, over the years, been no less diverse. In 1836, the Congregational Church, which no longer exists, was built where the present City Hall is located. The largest of the churches is, of course, St. Francis Xavier. Built by its parishioners in the early 1870s, it was established to serve the increasing number of French Canadians. The teaching order of the Sisters of Providence, based in Montreal, came to Winooski to establish a school for the offspring of the new immigrants. With the number of girls entering religious life declining, the newly built novitiate has never been activated. Similarly, the parochial school serving the parish and area Catholics has experienced a steady declining enrollment. The Methodist Church, built downtown in 1918, has witnessed many changes, but continues to provide to its constant congregation. The Episcopal Church was established in 1877 and is also used by the Baptists. In 1928, the present St. Stephen's Church, known as the Irish Church, replaced the one built in the 1870s to provide for the English-speaking citizens. The youth development section of the program was not overlooked. Winooski can justly boast of its parks. Landry Park, named after a volunteer who died while installing lights at the field, is a complex which includes picnic area, tennis courts, outdoor ice rink, and softball fields, basketball court, and adjacent to the complex is the Ken Myers swimming pool. Hawthorne Field, home of our championship baseball team, also has a Little League field, tennis courts, and basketball court. Visitors to our downtown may also enjoy the serenity of the river at the Winooski Falls Park, site of the old Fort Frederick, or at the River Park across the street. If that is not peaceful enough, maybe a walk through the natural habitat would be more to your liking. No community can remain alive and vital without the benefits derived from its civic and fraternal organizations. The residential areas of Winooski represent a healthy blend of the old, such as this stone house, rumored to hold some of Ethan Allen's personal secrets, old single-family dwellings and stately multiple-family dwellings, treed neighborhoods and new developments. Winooski was one of the first in Chittenden County to provide subsidized housing for those in need. The multiple apartment condo craze has also made the scene. Even our former elementary school has been renovated into modern efficiency apartments. 2 complexes for the elderly have been built to allow our aging population to retain their independence in an atmosphere of security. These were strategically located within a few hundred yards of the Senior Citizen Center. With the exception of the commercial and service-related ventures located in the Champlain and Winooski Mills, most of the business establishments are family-owned and operated. There is, of course, the usual mix: restaurants, service stations, retail sales, motels, warehousing, building supplies, and a host of other service-related businesses. Not so long ago, traffic seemed to drive through Winooski. Now traffic is coming to the Winooski downtown. It is here, downtown, where one can observe and sense the dramatic impact of our years of struggle. Let's appreciate it together. Completed during the 1958-59 school year, Winooski High School had its first graduating class, June 1959. Remember, the woolen mills closed in 1954. The school was built after a number of bond votes between 1956 and 57. The original John F. Kennedy building was built in 1964, housing the 7th and 8th graders. Today, this one campus is home for the K-12 program. Two significant additions have been made to the campus with the financial help of the Community Development Committee. The Community Vocational Wing added to the high school provided much-needed locker facilities, shop areas, and multi-purpose space. The other physical addition to the John F. Kennedy School included EMR classrooms, art, music, and a media center. We've shown you a lot of brick and mortar, and granted, much of it was federally funded. But I would hope that you have perceived the thread which has tied it ever so delicately together. This is not a community of economic wealth. It is one of human wealth. Bold, courageous people have made the difference. The spirit of the Kenny Myerses and the Bob Landrys is still alive and well. For example, and there are many from which to choose, but I will note but two. The place is Brattleboro, Vermont, site of the State Music Festival. What you are seeing here is the pride of the community and the thankless hours of work done by anonymous givers of self. Our kids were dressed in the best. Until 3 years ago, Winooski had no track facilities. What started with a dream and lines on a track to be soon blossomed into a shared experience. Volunteers, alumni, and again, the community at large exhibited its spirit. We recognize that a school our size cannot guarantee an equal degree of success to each individual. But certainly through a carefully designed curriculum and a rich extracurricular program based on the